SMTN.
How's it going, everybody, and welcome to Shin Megami Tensei Network Link 375. I'm your host, Spencer Presley, surviving his, I feel like, my fifth, maybe sixth heat wave in the road this summer. Very hot, very tired, but also very excited to talk about some video games for the rest of 2025 with my very special guest, Mandy from MandyleePlays. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me on.
No, thank
And
you so
remember
much.
to drink water.
Yes,
It's
I've
hot.
got a. I'm not even being hyperbolic here. I literally have two separate bottles of water for me to try to not guzzle through this entire podcast.
Thank you for having me on.
No, of course. I'm always seeing, like I was mentioning before, I always like see either like your videos or like whatever you're playing going on, and I always feel bad because it's one of those things where I really always am like, oh, I want to get blah 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 back on, but I'm trying to think of like a good reason to have them on, other than just being like, hey,
Hmm.
hey, old friends, you have not been on the show in a while, and I'm very lonely. Please come back on and do the show. But
No, it's good.
this one worked
Good.
out because we're in a bit of a lull news-wise, and the topic I wanted to talk about works out really well because you are someone very similar to myself of we both love a lot of games. Like if there's not
Yeah.
something we're both playing or excited about right now, it's very rare that like one of us are like, well, I played my one game of the year. I'll be good until next year. It just kind of always feels like there's five different things that we could be talking about or playing at the same time.
Yeah, agree. I'm always going from one game to another.
Do you ever
Um,
have any like feelings like that either in terms of for videos or just for like personal play? Do you ever have like a game that like slipped by that you're like, "Oh man, I wish I could have like done another video on this or like made a single video about like a certain topic or anything like that you feel is like ever too late?"
like, is it a game I haven't picked up or one that I had?
It could be like, so I have a couple ones that are funny of like stuff where either I've played it but I haven't made a video about it and I really want to, or it's like I haven't
Oh,
played it and
okay.
I'm like, oh, I'm just too like I'm too busy to justify it to like force it out of my backlog, like things like that.
Um, that's me with a lot of Final Fantasy games.
This year was
So
the
like,
this year was the year I've decided I'm beating Final Fantasy 16 or I'm throwing myself off a volcano like Tekken. I'm like, this is the year that I finally roll credits on Final Fantasy 16.
yeah, I rolled it last year. Well, was it 2 years or 1 year
It came out
ago?
2 years ago. How wild is that? 2023.
Yeah, so 2 years ago I rolled credits. It's not my favorite Final Fantasy, but I have to get into the seven remakes. I keep putting it off.
See,
I guess because
ironically,
I know what happened.
I was gonna say, at the same time, ironically, compared to 16, both of those games are like extremely long.
Yeah,
Do you think
which I don't mind. A lot of people
will
don't
you
like
be
long games.
will you be more or less tempted to play it when they're on Switch, or do you think you'll just play them on PS5?
Um, if you asked me like 3 years ago, I'll probably say I'll wait for a Switch. But it's gotten to a point where I play a lot of my JRPGs on my PlayStation, so I don't really mind PlayStation or Switch.
And one of the other things, kind of like we were talking about for like your videos and stuff, for anyone out there who either may not remember you or has not heard of you before, what's sort of the quick verbal business card greeting of Mandy? Who the heck are you, and what the heck do you make videos about?
Alright, so hi guys, I'm Mandy from MandyleePlays, and I make videos on JRPGs, mainly list videos or a certain game that comes out, I would do a before you buy and things of that nature. Also, sometimes rants about the gaming industry. So, if you're into that, then subscribe.
I was just looking at your YouTube, and I have two questions for you. I don't know how I hadn't noticed this before, but as someone with a
Mhm.
extremely, and I mean like embarrassingly long avatar I've used on YouTube, like I'm so in need of updating mine. I have to ask, have you thought of replacing your current one with the Switch 2 yet?
Uh, yeah, but I don't know yet. I have to do the picture again.
It's,
But yeah, maybe soon. It's just
I
I'm nervous that people won't recognize my channel.
Oh, that is a good point. I've thought about that like a little bit, but also my channel is so all over the place with what people click on versus like other times. Like it's so weird the stuff like that sticks with my channel versus others because I feel like I have the least like algorithm friendly YouTube channel of all time. I'm like, oh, I'll put up like a 3 hour podcast, or maybe I'll put up like a 7 minute gameplay video, or maybe I'll do like a 20
Mhm.
minute like discussion, and then it's just like all over the place. Like, listen, YouTube, I don't blame you in terms of not knowing what the hell to recommend to me here. I will say though, you do. I don't know. Do you just do them as a screen grab, or for your thumbnails, do you always do like a canned picture of yourself like ahead of time?
I usually like do a little video of different poses and I just pick one from the ones I took and boom,
It's a
that's
it
the thumbnail.
It's much better than mine. Anytime I ever have myself on my channel, I'm constantly writing this line of like, okay, I'm really just here to hold up whatever I'm holding. No one is gonna look at my ugly mug and be like, I gotta click on that dude's video. But at the same time, I also have to be aware that even as dumb and as ironic as it is, like I never want to have like the like meme like open mouth white guy thumbnail that like everyone always does because like you just see those so much whether it be on purpose or ironically or unironically that it's like no don't do it don't be tempted, Spencer.
Actually has a negative effect nowadays. People like
Yeah,
cringe
well,
on that.
and it's funny because like I don't know, like it was one of those things I just always heard people dunk on for the longest time of like I didn't even know that there were days where people saw that stuff and were like, "Oh man, I gotta click on this Mr. Beast video. He looks so excited to be trapped on this island. I gotta find out why he's here."
Yeah, like the recent ones are more of a parody of that whole soy jack face.
But yeah, you cover a lot of stuff much better than I do. You always, I don't know, would you say is your cadence at least to try and do a video a week? Does that sound about right?
Yeah, a video a week. I used to do more, but life. So it's about one a week.
So one of the funniest things when I was looking at your channel, the other one outside of the thumbnail, and in this one you can
Mhm.
immediately throw me under the bus for having not watched the video yet. So please let me know if I'm wrong. I saw the thumbnail of you holding up Expedition 33 and
Oh,
the
yeah.
thing that says stop spending full price on video games, do this instead. I have to ask at any point in
Yeah.
that video, please tell me that you were not like, man, $50. I don't know if I could justify Expedition 33 for $50.
Nah, I bought Expedition 33, and it being $50 is such a good deal, especially if you played the game. It's a full adventure type game, so I
That's
would
when
my
I
purchase.
really want to go back to platinum. Do you think the only thing I'm missing is I need to beat Simon and get to level 99?
Yeah, me too. He's really hard though. I don't want to say more because spoilers, but
No, and it is really funny
I
because like
still have to beat another character before that.
the super bosses in that game, it's really funny of like in context they make sense, but yeah, like it'd be like if I told you, "Oh man, yeah, wait till you see the super boss in Yakuza 9. Paul was so hard. Like Paul just kicked my ass." I'm like, "Who's Paul?" There's no there's no dude in this story named Paul. What are you talking
But
about?
in Expedition, the super bosses, well, some of them are kind of story related, so I won't say, but man,
No,
are they
so
hard.
I'm glad to hear that because the other thing along with it of like I think everybody and their mother would agree Expedition 33 totally worth 33 bucks, totally worth 50 bucks. But it was extra funny
Yep.
because like I know you're a really big physical collector like me. That
Mhm.
game, it's a little bit better now, but oh my God, like that game was impossible for people to find like physically, especially on PS5.
Yeah, I had it pre-ordered, so I was good on that, but I've seen people scalping it and I was like, what the heck? But they did a second run,
Yeah, the
which is cool.
I was really glad I got the special edition of that, not the really big collector's edition with the statue, but I got the like one that comes
Yeah.
with Gustav's journal and the steelbook in it, and I was like, oh, this like that's legitimately probably like my, if not one of my
I just
favorite
got the
special
basic.
editions I've gotten this year. But yeah, like that one got crazy expensive. It's still pretty expensive now, but ironically, like this kind of just goes to show like how crazy that game's been reception wise. Like they're doing a
Hmm.
reprint of that collector's edition at GameStop, and I'm like, when is the last time you've seen a collector's edition get a reprint months after the first one came out?
I honestly don't even know. Um, but it's nice that they're doing reprints for it because usually they have a set number and then that's it. But since the game popped off, I'm glad that they're,
Oh, I mean,
having more inventory.
it's like the opposite of the Pokemon card problem, or even like when it comes to like people with like scalpers and
Yeah,
stuff. Of like, if you were the developer and you were seeing these people selling your game that you sold for 50 bucks, all for like 80, 90 to 100 on eBay, there's got to be a part of you that's like, why aren't we just making more of these as quickly as we can, and then we make the money, and then no one has to pay over MSRP?
yeah. I'm so glad that they did that. They didn't just leave it as like a rare thing.
Yes. And my last thing I'll say about Expedition 33, because I know I feel like I glaze that game every single episode of the
I,
podcast.
I do too. No shame.
Did you
That
see the
game is
news
so.
this week about what they put up for pre-orders?
What?
The art book just got announced today, and then I think over the weekend they
Mhm.
announced the like full 6 disc vinyl soundtrack.
Oh my God. I mean, the music is amazing. It was kind of obvious they were going to do a vinyl, but man, they did that really fast.
Yeah, the vinyl I don't think is coming out until fall or winter, and the art book I think is also for later in the year, if not next. But I mean, the funny thing at the same time is like even though it's like a 6 disc vinyl, um, they
It's
just
massive.
released a like I think I forget how many new tracks, but they like also at the same time they announced it released like a remastered version of the OST with like some new songs
What?
and like some like slightly tuned differently songs and like rearrangements
That's
and like
crazy.
they just dropped all that for free and I'm like you like obviously like there's been so
Good
much
for it.
goodwill towards that game but it is just so funny of like it's one of those things where I remember being excited about that game before it came out just because I was like, it looks really good. It's really interesting. Obviously, it's like really inspired by a lot of RPGs that I love, but it's like I don't think anyone could have ever predicted like how popular that game would be, especially like even 3 months away
Yeah.
from it. I feel like I see stuff for that game like every day online.
To be honest, I knew nothing about the game when I played it. Nothing about the setting, the world, the characters.
So
I
you
just knew it
didn't
was a hype
watch?
thing.
Did you not watch the like little Xbox developer direct they did? I think January.
No, I didn't.
How'd you
I
hear
just
about
went
it?
to it like totally blind. I heard about it through Twitter and stuff, and I knew because I did see the one trailer where they announced the game. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get that, and I didn't watch anything else. So I was, very surprised. I thought it was gonna be like a Souls-like fantasy adventure, but it really took me by surprise. I honestly love it, especially the
Oh.
music. Holy cow!
The really upsetting thing, and this ties into kind of what I've been playing, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, almost
Hmm.
for all the same reasons, but drastically different. I think like when I was playing Expedition 33, I was like, oh my god, I love the characters. The story is really interesting. The world is really visually unique, like everywhere you go. The music is crazy. The gameplay is way more than I would have expected. And I kid you not,
Mhm.
I said the exact same thing the entire time I was playing through and beating Donkey Kong. Like Donkey Kong Bonanza, I have compared to Expedition 33 in only the most positive ways so many times. It was like so funny of just like, oh my god, like I feel like in my brain I should be sick of how much I've heard Pauline sing to me, but like every time that girl sings, I'm like, damn, bro, I could listen to this on like one of those like little
Yeah,
like when they add the Donkey Kong Bonanza soundtrack to the Nintendo Music app, I'm like, every one of those songs you could do a 60-minute
you
extended
still
version
use
for.
that
I'd be
app?
there.
I I don't use that app. I forgot about it.
What do you mean you're not checking your Nintendo Now app every single day for Miyamoto's exclusive tweets?
Mm. They should really just make the app one thing instead of scattering,
That
but
I
that's a
agree
different
with. I
topic.
don't think the apps by themselves are bad, but it's split across too many things. It's like there should just be one Nintendo app that does all of that.
Yeah, you could look at your friends and then do the whole Nintendo Twitter thing and listen to some music in the background. They could have made it so convenient, but I don't know why they split it up.
Nintendo, they're always just doing Nintendo things. That's why it's like I try to be mad, but also at the same time, I'm like they've been doing such their own thing for so long. I can't stay mad at you, Nintendo. I'm sorry. Uh,
Yeah,
but but the
and I
kind of
think that's what makes them different.
Oh
So,
yeah. But one of the things I was going to ask you, sort of on the topic of like what you've been playing, but also some physical stuff with it. Have you picked up any either like collector items or like any games recently that have like stood out to you that either you have not seen many people talk about, or like what's been some of your highlights this year you picked up?
uh, AI, the Somnium Files, No Sleep for Kaname Dante, is honestly so like not a lot of people are talking about it. And
I
it's one
was
of my
gonna say,
favorite visual
I feel
novel
like it's kind of
games.
been like dropped this week. Of like, I see Spike Chunsoft tweeting about it, but it's like I feel like no one is really talking about it. Almost in a similar way of like when 100 Line Academy came out. I'm like everyone I know playing it loves it, but I hear
I
almost
played
no
that
one
too.
talking about it.
Yeah, it's I don't know why they're very niche. With the 100 line, I didn't really like the ending, but that's a different topic. But it needs more love, I guess, because those are really good games. So,
I have
but
the
it just
first
seems
one.
to.
I got cucked on the third one because I played them on PlayStation. I haven't finished them yet,
Mhm.
but then with the fact that no sleep for Date, I'm like I'm sure it'll come to PlayStation eventually, but I'm also like I do not have the free time for like a 40-hour visual novel, so I'm kind of like, I'll just wait because most of the time they usually get pretty cheap. So unfortunately, I am also part of the problem.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. It's definitely a niche kind of series, especially with the puzzle mechanics and there's no combat. I feel like, it deserves some love. It's kind
Oh
of
yeah,
like the Ace Attorney games.
the fact that honestly, I'm more like I'm pleasantly shocked and happy the fact that this actually got to have a full trilogy. Like when the first game came out, I never would have expected a sequel, let alone two sequels.
Yeah. But it's a really good game. I haven't beat it or anything, but from what I've been playing, it's really good.
Now, I know you picked it up. I assume are you doing the FU game key card thing of buying the Switch 1 version because it's on the cart and then playing it on your Switch 2?
Yeah. I bought it for the Switch one,
I mean,
playing
listen,
it on the Switch too.
the box art looks a lot better. I will say that.
Hmm. Without all those texts and stuff. But
One of the games I'm going to talk about later, I'm still very excited about, but man, I cannot tell you enough of as excited as I am for Pokemon ZA, I am also so sad that I'm like, God, that Switch 2 box art looks so ugly with all that text.
Yeah, and then the paragraph in the bottom, the red border, the whole Switch 2 border takes up most of it. It's kind of like just a itty bitty of the art. But definitely the art has taken a huge dive when it comes to Switch 2 games, the
Well,
physical ones.
and it's a bummer because like the ones that are just a honest to goodness like Donkey Kong and Cyberpunk and Mario Kart World as well, like they
Yes,
all
looking.
look really clean, but the problem is there are so few games that are like that, that like they really like it, it's kind of weird. Like, I think because like every other Switch game compared to them have all this text and garbage on them, it's kind of a bummer that like
Hmm.
something like Mario Kart and Donkey Kong aren't the norm. Like they're the exception. Like they're the rare one. Even something like
Yeah,
even like Mario Party Jamboree on Switch 2 looks like a complete mess. Like that box art is a disaster.
yeah. I don't know. It's mostly because all the garbage text, but with the whole key card scenarios.
Which,
But
by the
yeah, like I
way,
don't like the border. It's just
but
weird.
I have found out the hard way. Even if you are anti keycards like you and myself are, the amount of times I have just posted because I have only one keycard in my collection. It's from Raidou Remastered. Every time I ever post that image, you would
Mhm.
not believe the like comments that I will get sent my way, as if I got
Yeah.
caught biting, like biting. Like people act like I got caught buying a copy of Mein Kampf. They're like, "What are you doing with that? Why would you why would you buy that? You're part of the problem."
Yeah, I mean, I got Raidou for the Switch one, and then I played it on the Switch too. But yeah,
It
key
was
cards are not really good.
I'm feeling optimistic
But
though. I think especially with stuff like Sonic Racing finally getting the key treatment and a couple other stuff, like we're seeing more games in Japan not just be game key cards. I'm trying to be optimistic that if we just keep shitting on this enough, it won't be the norm.
because they're listening, and I feel like maybe these key cards are just meant to be a transitional phase for the Switch 1 to Switch 2, and they don't want to tell us that. So hopefully it gets better down the line, or it could get worse with this whole where they have the key cards, but you can't upgrade the Switch 1 version to the Switch 2 version. And then that's kind of diabolical, really,
Manny,
because most of the
we have
hmm?
breaking Nintendo news. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh
Nintendo
no,
just
what happened?
dropped
A direct?
better. You thought they were going to drop a direct. What did Nintendo do instead? They dropped
What?
Mario Paint on Nintendo Online
Oh,
with the mouse. It only works with the mouse, by the way.
well, that's cute. Maybe I'll
Also, this
try
is
it.
extra mean. I didn't realize this. Mario Paint only works with the mouse, including on Switch 1. So I don't know how you hook up a mouse to your Switch 1. Maybe you could just get like a USB mouse. But that's very funny
That
and very weird.
mouse required to play on NSO. That's I don't really like the mouse feature, mainly because I don't see a use for it. And like I'm mostly playing on my bed. I don't want to like whip out a desk or something.
I was gonna say with the games you've been
So,
playing, I don't think you've even really had anything that's honest to goodness uses it. Like I just for the first time did the Donkey Kong Sculptor mode after I was done playing the game. I was like, oh, I should try this, and then I tried it, and I was like, oh, I will never touch this again. Like it was a competent mode, but I was like, I have no reason to ever do this again.
yeah, I tried it once too, and it was like cool, but then I just went back to my Pro controller. But yeah, it's
Um,
wild that they Mario Paint.
on a random Monday night, everyone's expecting a Nintendo Direct this week, and what does Nintendo do? They're like, nah, dog, Mario Paint.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Oh my god. Well,
But
you know
yeah, it's
what?
weird.
we're only like 30 minutes into this intro. I guess we can slowly transition away into the main topic of this show. If you couldn't tell everybody, not a lot of not a lot of Atlas news this week. I'm shocked as you are that they didn't want to hide all the good stuff for San Diego Comic Con, but we do have one interesting highlight of news. I discussed this a little bit last week as having leaked, and while it hasn't come true yet, what's strange is we just got announced today in Japan that there is a Hatsune Miku mobile app game getting a collab with Persona 5 Royal, which really
Oh yeah, I saw that.
confused everyone because a week
I'm so done
ago,
with Persona 5.
well, no, what's funny is like they had just had a leak that Hatsune Miku, that game that it's collabing with, is doing a crossover with P5X. Like they have a whole animated cutscene video for it and everything that leaked last week.
What?
So when this artwork came out, everyone was like, "Oh, cool, the leak was true." And it's like, yeah, the leak probably was true, but it's the other way around. Like P5X is collabing with Miku, but Miku is only collabing with Persona 5 Royal. It's very weird.
That is very weird, but it's
But
cool. I mean,
yeah, I mean it's one of those things that
another collab on
I
the
don't think
belt.
anyone's gonna download the Miku game just because Persona 5's in it. But also at the same time, I don't think anyone's going to look at Miku getting added to Persona 5X and be like, damn, I gotta download this now. But it is funny though at the same time because it's been, oh my god, how many years? I think 11 years since Miku was in the Persona 4 dancing game as a DLC character.
Mm-hmm. Wait, she was?
She was, yeah. I posted it on my Twitter, but this is the first time, not the first time, this is the second time Miku has been collaborating with Persona. So, Shoji Meguro made not Meguro. Sojima did a version of Miku. Like he gave her her own like exclusive costume for the game, and she had her own remix where she sings a version of Heaven. And it's really good DLC. Like it was really well done. It looked cool. They even made like a figure for it and everything. But it kind of
Mm-hmm.
just came and went just because it was like the last DLC for Dancing All Night, and it's like yeah it was good at the time, but obviously over a decade later most people don't really remember something like that. So it is cool to see Miku crossing over again with almost said Fortnite. It's cool seeing Miku come back to the world of Persona, but like unfortunately Miku like she like me having a like blub with Fortnite there. Miku collabs with like everybody. It's not like anything crazy. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh
She
my
did
god.
Pokemon recently.
hmm
Yeah, it was Pokemon. She did.
You know what's wild? Do you see who else had a
But Miko's
not really a
everything,
collab, but
so.
did you hear who was on the cover of Shonen Jump in Japan this week?
Joker?
No, more. I don't know. I don't know if this would be more weird, but personally for me, I was shocked. The cover of Weekly Shonen Jump has Pikachu and Luffy from One Piece, like drawn by the same artist. It was like I saw it and I was like, I thought it was like fan art. I was so shook. I was like, no, this has to be fake. And I was like, no, it's the cover of Shonen Jump this week. I'm like, that is like it looked like
They're
it was
doing a
literally
collab.
it was so weird. It literally looked like it was like taken from someone's DeviantArt.
Yeah, it was really like it could be fan art, definitely.
Um, but yes, Miku collab aside, there's not really a lot of news, and we recently had, I think last week, because we talked about it on the show for like in passing, that Atlus is as of now not confirmed for TGS, even though the lineup of guests are there in the sense of Sega will be there. All the other publishers have announced that they're going to be there for TGS in September, and ironically, you could kind of look at it and be like, well, they already said Sega. They don't have to say Atlus like they do over here in the West. Because in the West, Sega and Atlus are a
Yeah.
lot more kind of connected than they are in Japan. Whereas Japan, they are still very much treated like two separate companies, even though they are all owned by Sega Sammy. But it got me thinking about an interesting thing of like, yeah, this is definitely going to be a lot more of a quiet year for Atlus, especially compared to last year, where we had Persona 3 Reload, Metaphor,
Yeah.
SMT5, Unicorn
If
Overlord.
anything, it's like a well-deserved break because they've been like doing stuff a lot last year, like so much stuff.
I mean,
So I
it
don't
was
mind them
literally the
taking a
thing of
backseat.
I felt like for a while the only games I had played last year were like Atlas games. It was like I played Rebirth and I played all the Atlas games, and I was like, that's like 500 hours right there.
Yeah, they were on a roll.
So,
Hopefully, we get something Persona 6. Is that like a pipe dream?
maybe that's I would say in terms of announcements, I could still see us getting a Persona 6 announcement this year. Definitely not at TGS, I would say now. I could see it being something that just happens at an event in Japan, whether it be a concert like the one coming up next January, or even at like the Game Awards. I could see P6 getting announced, but especially with like the wet fart that was the Persona 4
Oh
remake
my
announcement,
god.
I think they kind of want to space those out because it'll seem weird of like
Yeah.
having those two close together. But it still leaves us with just about half a year left with August all the way to December of a ton of games coming out. And that was one of the things of like I still have so many games that I'm looking forward to coming out this year, RPG or otherwise, that not that I don't see a lot of people talk about, but it's one of those things that I think especially if you're someone who listens to this podcast, one of the things like I really pride myself with is like we always are talking, whether it be on the Facebook group or the Discord, of like all the different games everybody's playing, whether it be like free to play stuff, the horse racing girl game, or like whatever, like visual novels all over the place. Like everyone here has a really vast interest in terms of games that they're all playing or interested in. And I thought it'd be kind of fun of
Mhm.
we could talk about. I've got some listener suggestions, and well as you and I we can sort of talk about which games are we looking forward to this year to like put our time and money into, because I think we're in an interesting point where outside of like some of the big ones, like obviously like I mentioned before, like with Ghost of Yotei or like Call of Duty and Battlefield this year, like there's a couple of staples, but this year I think is going to really be heavy in like the not the niche stuff, but like there's going to be a lot of like surprising big hits, if that makes
Like
sense. Like I think,
sleeper hits.
yeah, like there's going to be a lot of games that like people aren't ready for to be as big as they're going to be. Like I'm not saying any of these games are going to be like the next Expedition 33, but even like a tiny one
Yeah.
that I'll use this as my first one because I know almost no one, I don't even think anyone actually mentioned it. Legitimately, like my most anticipated game of the year now, and I think it's been since it was announced back in April or whatever. I am stupidly excited. Like literally, probably it should be a concern how excited I am for Hyrule Warriors.
Oh
Oopsie, I forget the new one.
yes.
The newest
I
one
know
for
it's
it.
what.
I was such a fan of the original Hyrule Warriors. Like I love all the Warrior games, but I loved OG
Yeah.
Hyrule Warriors, and then the 3DS version was great. The Switch version's amazing, but literally outside of the fact that it ran like complete trash on the original Switch, Age of Calamity
Mhm.
might be like the game I actually played the most on of my Switch one. Like I played
Yeah. I was gonna
so
say that
much.
game, Age of Imprisonment,
Thank you. I was just
but
trying
you
to
went
look it up.
first. But I'm so excited for that game.
Well, it's
Like
like
it's one of my Switch 2 highlights.
well, what's funny is like I'm excited for that game, but I'm constantly shocked at how few people mention it. Like people be like, "Oh man, Nintendo's got nothing
Yeah.
good this year," and I'm like, Nintendo, like, yeah, they don't have a bunch of games playing this year, but like a lot of their exclusives are really big. But I think the biggest one people are sleeping on easily has to be Hyrule Warriors, just because I love the world that Tears
I
of the Kingdom
love
set up. I'm excited to
Warriors
see the new
games.
characters, but then also another thing with it that will be so exciting of A, it'll be something to play on the Switch too, which will be fun. But another big one for me has to be the new story because like I really loved Tears of the Kingdom. Story was not that game's strong suit. So to have something like
Yeah,
this where we get to like see
completely agree.
like where we get to see way more of a focus on Zelda as opposed to Link, I think will be super super fun.
And what the heck happened in the past? Because in the games, it's literally just a little snippet of what happened. And I was like, I want to see more. What the heck happened?
Playable hot gaming.
So it definitely has potential for a good story. I would love to see more Warriors games like for Xenoblade and Persona. Oh, that'll be so good. But for
I feel
Zelda, I love the Warrior games.
I feel like I'm gonna die holding my breath for it, but man, if Atlus and Koei Tecmo ever get to do another collab again, I will be so happy. Like I every now and then I'll just think about like how fun Persona 5 Strikers was, and then I just get sad because I
Mhm.
realize that like it didn't sell bad, but it definitely didn't like it did not light the world on fire.
Yeah, though I really did love it. But
So
yeah, Age of Imprisonment, I'm really looking forward to.
for you by the way, do you ever mess around with those games very much for co-op, or do you mostly just always play the Warrior games single player?
Single player.
Okay.
I don't really have the co-op experience, though I've heard like it runs good.
Uh,
I've tried online and it's decent.
they are fun to play online. I will say the funny one I always tell people is if you remember how bad Age of Calamity played on Switch 1, imagine how much worse it was for split screen. Because I played the entirety of that game in
Mm.
two-player split screen, and it was great. Because I remember like literally like the last boss when you're like going through Hyrule Castle is just like you could like count the frames, but it was that thing where we were so overpowered at that point. Like it wasn't like annoying us. It was just funny, like how much we could make the game chug.
Yeah, I haven't played a split screen game in forever. That would be kind of weird.
All right,
But
so that is me stealing one of your choices, but I will let you go next. What is what's one of your games you're looking forward to playing this year and why?
I'm looking forward to Trails of the Sky or Trails of the Sky the First.
Oh
I
yeah,
believe
the
the name
remake.
is remake. Yeah, I'm actually really excited because I'm finally gonna play a Trails game. After so many attempts, I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait until the first game gets remade, and it did. So I'm excited to jump in the series.
Do you have
Have you played the Trails games?
so I've played the original on PSP. They did a sort of remake master back on the PS3 and Vita in Japan. I still need to pick those up just for like my collection, but they never did them in English. The first game, especially like on PSP, was such a I mean, it was up there like the way
Buggy?
people talked about stuff like Persona 4 on Vita, like Trails in the Sky 1 is just such a great like world story, like everything about it is so epic, but it's so funny. Like I would remember like recommending it to people, and then they would look at like the chibi pixel art graphics, and they'd be like, "Really? Like this game?" And I'm like, "No, like
Yeah.
it doesn't look like it's that epic, but like it really really is good." And the crazy thing, especially with how much like I'm like such a big Falcom fan. I'm just shocked at how much money has clearly gone into this. Like, it looks like a big budget remake.
Yeah, it looks like they put a lot of effort into it. And I'm like, you know, it's perfect time to finally get into the series. I've been trying to get into it for the longest time, but it got complicated and it's pretty intimidating. So I was just, you know what, I'm just gonna wait till first game. I didn't wait that long. Because seriously, they announced the remake after like a month of me like stopping.
That's funny. Do you
So,
have any other history either with any of the other Heroes games, like like Trails of Cold Steel, or like the Ys games, or any of the other Falcom stuff?
I love the Yeast games. They're one of my favorites. But the Trails games, I've tried Zero and what's the game? Cold Steel, but I
Hmm.
never got far, mostly because I just wanted to play the first one first. So I just held off on them.
Yeah, I would
But
say
I do know about the series. It's
I'm
really a series I've been looking at for the longest time.
it's one that I'll be curious to see how well it sells, especially just because I've seen so many people have similar sentiments of like, oh, I hear about it all the time. I know they're really popular. I just didn't really want to play it on the PSP where I was waiting for a remake or a remaster. So it'll be really crazy to just like, I really hope it does well, just because
Yeah.
I would love for this to kind of be, and I don't think it will, because like it it's still very much like it's a big budget remake by Falcom standards, but like I'm not expecting this to sell Persona 5 numbers. But I think if this
Oh
like
yeah.
I still think though that this has a chance of being good. Like I still think this has a chance of like definitely being Falcom's biggest hit, especially in the West.
Yeah, and hopefully they follow suit with the others in the series. Well, the first three at least.
I mean, yeah, that's the big one because I think the other games have been remade. I mean, not remade, like remastered and like ported over a bunch. That like I don't think they really have to do too much. But like one, if it does well, and especially two and three, the tricky part is those games just get so much bigger and bigger after the first one that I wonder how long it would take to get all of them remade to that level. Because one of the tricky parts with the games initially was started as a PSP game, and then it took so long to just translate 1, 2, and 3 that by the time 3, I mean, actually, by the time 2 was done, the Vita was already out, so they couldn't even produce a physical copy of 2. And then by the time 3 came out, they weren't even able to put it on PSP over here in English, so it was only on Steam.
Yeah, I like it's a one of those series where you kind of need to play most of them. So it's pretty intimidating, and most of them just got were there in like Japan first for like a year or two, and then they get ported over.
hmm
So I'm excited for it.
So for that one, because we were talking about systems before, are you gonna go Switch or are you gonna go PS4? Because they've shown it off. Like it looks like it runs pretty well even on both systems.
I'll probably go for the Switch. I don't know if they're gonna do a Switch too.
That's the thing. I'm
Probably not.
surprised.
So
Well, I would also say probably not. Oh, also apologize, not PS4, PS5, but you know what I meant. Before anyone wants to correct me
yeah,
right there, I will say though, normally I would agree because Falcom used to be pretty slow about porting stuff. At the same time, the crazy thing is they just put out, as of the recording of this podcast in Japan, there's an exclusive, like, definitive edition version of Ease 10 called Ease 10 Proud Nordic, and that's only on Switch
I
2.
remember that. Yeah,
So,
because the Proud version came out around the time the West got the original version, and I was so
the
pissed because
the
I was like,
worst
"What
timing,
the heck?"
the worst timing.
Yeah, I'm just
And of
like,
course
"What?"
there's no upgrade path. Of course there's not.
Of course, but yeah, I was pissed about that.
That literally, by the way, stopped me from buying Ease 10. Like, I love Ease. Like, I own almost every single version, and I was really excited about 10. It looked great. And then I saw the thing about Proud, and I'm like, why would I buy this?
I bought it when it released because I'm such a fangirl, and that's why I was so pissed. I was like, Come on." It was just like, slap in the face.
It's okay. It just means you're a better fan than me. You got me beat on Date, and you got me beat on on Ease 10.
I haven't played the game because just waiting for the Proud version.
But which, by the way, we don't really know that much about it. A part of me, I hope that they add, like, I know they're doing a lot of big quality of life stuff with it. We don't really know
Hmm.
much about like if they're adding a lot of story, which like they are known to be doing and stuff with it. So part of me is kind of like, I hope they make this like the definitive edition, because if it just sort of feels like a cheap remaster with some extra changes, it's like, why not just make that on every system, you know?
Yeah,
By the way,
and
shout
they
out
said there's
to.
gonna be more stories, but
Oh, sorry, they didn't.
what
They
happened?
said what?
They said there was gonna be story like
Yes.
stuff or content, so I was just like, ugh, I'll wait for the Proud version.
By the way, shout out to
if it ever comes, I don't know.
Rise in the Facebook group, and Sebastian also. They mentioned the Trails One remake as the thing they were most looking forward to. I think that's probably a safe bet, especially like with all the other RPGs this year. I feel like probably for like the niche crowd, that's probably the
Oh yeah,
safest bet. Like
it was
Trails
good.
One, I'm gonna say is my number two because I don't know if anyone else said this. I'll check the comments just to double check here for it. Legitimately, like my most anticipated game next to Hyrule Warriors though, and I feel like the only people I hear talk about this are my friends at my locals that like I play cards with. Is Digimon
Hmm.
Time Stranger. I am. It's like I know that that is not a triple A RPG like anything crazy crazy, but also at the same time, I'm like this game has such a chance not only of blowing up in terms of like Western popularity. I think it's coming out at a really smart time. But it's been so long since like a real mainline Digimon RPG. Like I loved Digimon Survive, but it was definitely not the kind of game people were interested in at the time of release and was in development for way, way, way too long. But like Digimon Time Stranger has just continued to look better and better every time I see it. And the crazy thing is with it is
I
like,
haven't,
oh yeah,
I haven't played a Digimon game,
good
but I could
news.
always like try.
Good news. This one, even though it is made by the team who did Cyber Sleuth 1 and 2, you do not need to play either of those. It's totally, totally standalone.
Nice. Oh, maybe I'll give it a try. I'm always
So,
on the lookout for more games to play.
yeah, and well, ironically, what I was saying of like why I think it's really smart of when it's coming out, this is what's crazy about it. And like, I feel like this had to have been on purpose. It is only coming out on PC, Xbox Series S and X, and PS5. No Switch 2 version. Because initially people were like,
What?
"Oh, they're probably waiting for the Switch 2 to get announced because it got announced before the Switch 2." So then people are like, "Oh, well they must
Mhm.
be waiting for the Switch 2." And then I was like when I saw the release date was October, I was like, "Oh, it's coming out the
Oh
same
no.
month as Pokemon." And let's be honest, if you have a
No.
Switch or a Switch 2, you're probably gonna play Pokemon over Digimon.
Yeah, I mean, it's smart. I mean, not smart, but
I mean, no, so like, oh, sorry. So
yeah, I
the
get
reason
why.
I think it's a good thing actually is like if you are someone like me, I'm a sicko who's just gonna buy both. And also they're spaced out that one comes out in the beginning of the month and the other comes out at the end of the month. That I will still buy both because I'm a sicko, but I'm still more excited about Digimon than I am by Pokemon. The thing about it, though, is
Yeah.
if you are someone who is in the mood for something like Pokemon and you don't have a Switch, all those other people on Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam now have something else that they can play sooner to scratch that itch and might be able to get the sales on it. And it's very different compared to Pokemon ZA.
Mhm.
And then for all the people out there who are like, well, they should just put it out on Switch, Pokemon would cannibalize all of those sales, and they've already announced they're
Yeah.
doing an expansion pass with this game. So they're just going to get people to double dip like me. What they're going to do is when all the DLC is out in 2026, then they're going to put out a complete edition on Switch 2 and then get everyone to buy it there as well.
Yeah, I mean, it coming out around a Pokemon game, probably not the smartest thing, but the way you phrased it, it does kind of make sense in a way.
Cuz like I'm not sure how well versed you are for Digimon like with the show and stuff. Like it is that thing of obviously the comparisons are always going to be there between Pokemon and Digimon, but especially as they've both gotten so older and the fan bases have gotten so different over the years. Like I constantly
Yeah.
see people at least in my life whether it be conventions or going to like game stores where I will always see people who are into both. Rarely will I see people who are only into one or the other of like, oh, I love Digimon, but I hate Pokemon, or oh, I love Pokemon, but I hate Digimon, because like they scratch such different itches, even though they're very similar in terms of the monster collecting. I think because the like, ironically, if it wasn't for the fact that you're collecting monsters in both, Pokemon and Digimon really couldn't be more different. Like Digimon is so much more for grown-ups. It's like not even funny.
Yeah, I heard the story is a bit more mature. And I'm not just, saying Pokemon's immature, but just
I mean,
story-wise, they tend to tackle
compared to
different stuff.
Digimon, it's a little less fair. Also, since you hadn't played the other ones before, if you are curious, I would say they're definitely worth at least picking up the Cyber Sleuth like bundle for it because you can always find like even the physical or digital ones are always on sale for like $20. Like they're really cheap. But the cool thing about the art style, if you couldn't tell by looking at it, it's done by the same artist who did the Cyber Sleuth games for Time Stranger. So they did the art for Durarara as well as Devil Survivor and a bunch of the other
Yeah,
old
looks like
Digimon things for it. But
that looks familiar.
do you know who does the soundtrack for those games?
No.
It's the guy who, and I should remember his name, but I am too tired to remember. It's the guy who does the music for all the Danganronpa games.
Really?
Yes, and they are
Wow.
great.
I love the Danganronpa soundtrack, so
Cannot recommend enough.
that's good.
They're always super cheap. They're never that long. They're never short games, but they're not like 60 plus hour long RPGs with it. So I think Time Stranger, as
Yeah.
long as it doesn't fuck up, like I think as long as it runs well and it doesn't have like a bad like story or anything, like as long as it doesn't like, because right now everything they've shown off for it looks great. Like it's kind of one of those things that as long as they don't blow it, this could be big for them. Because Digimon really hasn't had a big moment to resurrect itself in the West in a while. Like they've tried, it's still really big in Japan. Ironically, I think this could be their moment. I think also another really good sign that this is doing way better than Bandai would have expected. The collector's edition for this thing has already sold out like three separate times. They have like a big statue edition on their
Nice.
website, and they've already had to restock it like over three times. I think it just keeps selling out. So I'm like, okay, it's a good sign.
Good sign.
But yes, that is my Digimon rant. What is another game that comes to mind for you?
That I'm excited for,
Yes.
Final Fantasy Tactics. I never played the original, and a lot of people are just like hyping it up, so I'm kind of excited for it. And I haven't played a tactical RPG in a while, so I'm like, okay,
How
I'll
did
play
you
that
feel
day
about
one.
Tactics Ogre if you played it?
I do have it, but I haven't played it yet.
It
I don't know
is
why I keep putting it off, honestly.
it's really good. I would say because we're so close to Tactics right now, I would say hold off because as much as I love Tactics Ogre Reborn, Final Fantasy Tactics is the better game. I am so jealous of you, by the way. So I've played the original and I've played way more of War of the Lions, the PSP remake. I cannot wait for this. I think it looks great. I know some people are a little on the War of the Lions content not being there, but I think at
Mhm.
least them using the translation is a big one, and all the new voice acting looks great. I was mentioning this with somebody recently of like considering the development team for Tactics is the same like dev team who did 16 and Final Fantasy 14. I honestly wouldn't be shocked if they just kind of one day, maybe like a couple months after release, just added it as like an update of like, hey, thanks for supporting the game. We sold 500,000 copies. We're gonna update it to add all the War of the Lions missions as like optional like DLC that you can download. Like I feel like that's not out
Hopefully.
of the realm of possibility. And even if it doesn't ever get that, there is so much content in that base PS1 game already. Like it's still such a good deal, especially for like a $50 title.
Yeah. I don't like how the Switch 2 version is not even a key card. It's just a code shoved in a case. Like,
Yeah,
bro.
Square Enix
But
is
you do have the upgradable pack where you
they at
could get
least
the Switch
yeah,
one and upgrade it.
Square Enix at least has that over Sega. Like the fact that Sega's games have all had no upgrade paths has been like such a spit in the face it feels like.
Where it has probably the only game that has one is Tactics, but their previous games don't have upgrade passes. Um, well, Bravely Default's only for the Switch too.
Could you imagine? All right, if you still
But
have your 3DS copy, give us $20 in the mail via check, and we'll give you the copy on Switch too.
I mean, they could have ported it for the Switch One. I'm not sure why they didn't do that.
I think with how
It would have
bad,
ran fine on the
with how
Switch One.
poorly that game is selling on Switch 2, I think that still might happen.
Yeah, it's definitely, especially with the keycard only thing. It's not really doing as well, and I hate it because Bravely Default is one of my favorites, my all-time favorites.
Really?
So I hate that it's been getting a lot of hate.
Yeah,
Well,
that's like
mainly
the
because Square.
that's like the bummer with all the Square stuff. I think Square actually has a lot of really solid titles coming out this year. Like, I didn't have this on my list, but one I would definitely give a shout out to. Like, I'm super pumped for Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD, but
Yeah,
it's the exact same thing. Yeah, like Switch 2
the
version,
CD card.
just a big lame. Although, ironically, same with Final Fantasy Tactics. Like, even though those games are not the most graphically intensive games, like those are still games like I want to have a PS5 version for. And the fact that those will be complete on the disc, I think, is just kind of more reason for me to pick it up there versus on Nintendo, which is unfortunate for Nintendo Switch 2 people.
Yeah, it's a shame. I did not think this game key card thing would be such a hassle, but here we are.
Um, for you, by the way, what's your history with strategy RPGs? Like, did you ever mess around with like Disgaea or like any other games?
I actually don't like this guy, but most of the most known strategy RPGs I've played, especially Fire Emblem, that's my baby. It's what got me into the genre. I like Valkyria Chronicles. Um, Unicorn Overlord is really good, and I'm trying to remember other ones, but oh, Triangle Strategy. I didn't like the story, but the gameplay was awesome.
Oh,
So
interesting. Did you ever mess around with Dealfield Chronicles? It's kind of related.
I think I started it, but I put it down, and it just went into you know,
The
the pile
backlog
of
of
games I
shame.
haven't beat yet. Yeah. So, but yeah, I love
Uh,
the genre.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I
What
also
about you?
somehow I totally blanked on the Square Enix stuff. I feel like I constantly just like I love Square Enix stuff so much like I don't think about it because it's just one of those things of oh yeah, of course everyone's gonna get that. But I think something like Final Fantasy Tactics is a very special one. I'm a huge Tactics fan. I wasn't always like back when I was a little kid, but I think it's mostly just because I was a big dum dum. I've definitely learned to love it a lot more. I think I really grew into it, even though there were a ton of strategy RPGs on the PSP. When I started collecting Vita games like crazy, that's when I started getting really, really into it. Because I remember I took a blind buy one day. I think this was literally, yeah, it was the same day that Persona 4 Dancing All Night came out. Because I remember I bought 3 games that day, and the guy at GameStop was like, "Are you okay? Like none of these games make any sense together." I bought Dancing All Night, Forza Horizon 2, and Natural Doctrine, which like at the time, like the big pitch for that game was it's the Dark Souls of strategy RPGs, which like as someone who's gone back to play that game, like it's definitely not that hard, but it was very funny of like that was its whole big like claim to fame, which is like how punishingly hard this strategy RPG is. And I
Yeah,
enjoy a lot of them, ranging from like the more serious ones, like a Natural Doctrine, to lighter ones. Like I like Disgaea, not as much as other people do. Like I've definitely fallen off on those games. Like I haven't played anything since 5. I didn't play 6. I didn't play any of 7. But I like going back to older ones. Tactics Ogre Reborn was like a huge nostalgia kick
yeah,
for
I
me. I
never
loved that one.
play that one.
Um,
But yeah, I wouldn't say new, but my first foray into the tactics was Awakening. So ever since then, I've been hooked.
Now, did you ever play any Vagrant Story or Final Fantasy 12?
Um, I have 12. I haven't played it, and I didn't play Vagrant Story.
Okay, so if you ever get really bored one day, you'll find out they are all in the same world. They're not connected, but they have actually like similar locations and like timeline events with each other. That's like the fun thing with the tactics games is they initially started with Tactics,
Yeah.
then Vagrant Story came out, and then all these years later, Final Fantasy 12 took place in the same world.
Maybe it'll give me the motivation to actually play 12
12's great. Like
because
12, especially if you have the Zodiac Age edition, every single version of
yeah,
that game is a absolute blast to play.
the art style is gorgeous. Like I have a steel book of it.
Oh
Very
yeah. Oh,
nice.
I love the steelbook for that one. That one was really nice. We got another suggestion here, but this one we've got two from Decimo TDG. They wanted to give a shout out to Lost Soul Aside. That's the like PlayStation exclusive, like small dev team, sort of like Stellar Blade, but way less horny and like way more Final Fantasy Versus 13 vibes. You remember that game?
Oh yeah, versus 13. I actually liked it. Sad they threw away that concept.
I mean, listen, Kingdom Hearts 4 could always change it. You never know. Yuzora is just waiting there.
Yeah. I'm like, they probably repurposed it for something for Kingdom Hearts, which I'm not against. I actually like the concept.
And the other one, which is crazy to think that I think it's less than a month out now, is Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta. Although I think actually no, I think the full name is Metal Gear Solid Delta. So the remake, and this is the weirdest one with it. It's like I don't talk about it very much, although I probably have mentioned it more, especially after Death Stranding 2 came out. Metal Gear Solid, I don't know if I would still say it, but for the longest time, Metal Gear Solid was my favorite video game series of all time, higher than Final Fantasy, higher than Persona, SMT, Kingdom Hearts, all that. Metal Gear Solid held a really, really big place in my heart, and then Kojima and Konami broke up. But I will say I am excited about this remake, but I'm also like I'm ready for it to be a fucking disaster at the exact same time. Because I'm like, I don't know how much you've seen of this game.
I haven't really played a Metal Gear game,
That's
but I've
okay.
seen bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, so this
It
one
looks
is,
like a Metal Gear game.
yeah, it's the earliest in the timeline chronologically. It is completely rebuilt from the ground up. It's by Virtuos, the team who did the Oblivion remake remaster earlier this year. So the game plays like a modern Metal Gear game where like you can move and aim and behind the camera shooting and everything like that. More modern gameplay, but all the cutscenes and all the sound effects and all the voice acting are all from the original game in 2004. And
Wow.
it's like interesting. Like they almost did a full remake because I think especially comparing it to like how drastically different Silent Hill 2 remake was last year. I think a lot of people were expecting
Mhm.
the same thing for Metal Gear Solid 3. So it's sort of weird of like they're making it like the most different version of 3 possible, but also like because they're not doing any new voice acting for it, it's kind of one of those weird things of like there's not going to be some weird crazy new moment. Like there's not going to be any new story added. They're not going to do anything drastically different, and I think that kind of probably makes
Mhm.
people less excited about it. But at the same time, like there hasn't been a brand new Metal Gear Solid game in 10 years. Like literally Metal Gear Solid 5 came out in 2015.
Damn. Wow, that was so long ago.
I don't think it's going to bring a lot of new people there, but at the same time there are millions of like Metal Gear fans like myself who are just hungry and want to try something new with it. Um,
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I'm not up to bat for it. Like I'm definitely gonna be there like day one. Like unless reviews are really mean to this thing, like I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna check it out. I'm excited for it. But it's one of those things that like this is literally from one of my favorite video game series of all time, and I haven't even included it yet. Like I'm like, I'm good. We'll wait. Like I would rather be pleasantly surprised than be excited now because I feel like there's way more of a chance of me being disappointed by the time it comes out. You know.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
I feel
But
like
hey, it's probably gonna be similar to the original game. So there's that.
it's so,
It's
so
gonna
many
be
so many weird thoughts. I feel like I basically included that as me talking about it just for me ranting. So if you would like to go next, we'll just pretend that that was also me saying MGS3. What's another game
No,
for
you're
you?
good. Pokemon ZA. That one looks very good from what I've seen. Though Pokemon, kind of has burnt me before, so I'm like hesitantly excited for it.
How would you say Pokemon's burned you? Just because I feel like that answer can be so different for so many people.
Yeah, it's mostly the recent Pokemon games with Scarlet and Violet mostly. The games are just buggy and messy, and it doesn't feel like anybody cleaned it up or something before sending it out. And I just really don't like how they treat their games versus the anime or trading cards. They put a lot of love and quality into that. But when it comes to the games, they just throw anything together for the recent games. But ZA looks like it runs good and it's going to be something new. I always loved the Pokemon Legends games. Well, the first one and this one. Because, it's something different. But hopefully the Switch 2 could give it that beast of a power that it needs.
How did you like Legends Arceus?
I actually really loved it,
Me
especially the
too.
catching Pokemon mechanic. So addicting.
I
And I got a lot of shinies easily,
I am
funny
really
enough.
excited about ZA. I think it's one of those things of when I think of how long it's been in development, all the lessons you hope they learned from Scarlet and Violet,
Oh,
and then like if it like I I'd even said this like before we knew it was coming to Switch 2. I was excited about it, but I was like, it looks still rough. Like when they were still showing only footage of the Switch 1 version, I was like, I don't love how this looks. I don't think it looks bad, but it's like it clearly was still limited like the way Scarlet and Violet was. And then now after having played
yeah.
Scarlet on Switch 2 and like being I am oh, man,
Way better on
way
Switch
better.
2.
So much better. Whoever's idea it was to not sell that as an upgraded edition, thank you. Very smart. Good business decision. Um, it made me so much more excited.
I
And then
know.
seeing it at the last two Nintendo presentations, or well, sorry, the last two presentations it was at, especially the trailer they showed last week for Pokemon Presents, I was like, man, this looks really good. Like, I'm a sucker for black and white. I love that story. I like the idea of the like open city. Like, it's kind of funny of like it's a smaller setting compared to Pokemon, but I think it kind of works because of how big that city is, as well
Yeah.
as looking
The one
at
in X and Y.
yeah, like
The I forgot the
with all
region.
the yeah with all like the X and Y ties into it, especially I think and I hope it's done well. I love the idea of like the ranking system of like going from rank Z all to A. Like I think that's a really cool idea as well.
I'm loving it too. I'm just hoping like it runs good. Pretty much it because Pokemon games are notoriously buggy, especially on the Switch. So hopefully,
Here's
they learned
the
their lesson.
here's the $1 million question. Who's your starter gonna be? You got Tepig, Chikorita, and Totodile.
It's probably gonna be Chikorita. I don't really like grass types, but Chikorita's so cute.
Chikorita was also my pick. The tricky part is I don't love Tepig's evolution line. I think Tepig is cute. I already picked Cyndaquil last time with Legends Arceus, so I get why they didn't include him. But there's
Yeah.
something about yeah, I agree with you. I'm not normally a grass type person, but something about all of uh all of like Chikorita's like evolution lines are it's one of those rare cases of a Pokemon who doesn't have a bad evolution. Like even their middle one like doesn't look bad. Like I think Chikorita
Yeah,
has a very good like
really cute.
evolution lineup.
And Totodile, like I forgot the Pokemon's name in Scarlet and Violet. The alligator guy,
Oh, Fukoko.
Pokemon. Yeah, I got him, so I was like, I'm not gonna do another alligator again.
I know. I love no joke. Like people shit on him a lot. Fukoko is probably not my first cuz my first still is OG Eevee, like normal Eevee is my favorite, but Fuecoco literally might be like my second favorite Pokemon of all time. Fuecoco is just such a derpy looking silly Pokemon.
I like his first evolution, but the other ones are just like, eh.
Not a fan of the sombrero with the egg.
No, I hated it. I get what they were going for, but oof.
Oh my god. Yes, I am excited for that. I don't know how they're gonna blow it, especially like, as long as it runs well on Switch 2. The funny thing about it, I bet you though, it will still run like ass on Switch 1.
Yeah, I like most definitely. Hopefully they optimize it where it's not that buggy, but knowing how Pokemon games are, it's probably gonna run fine. Kind of like Pokemon Legends Arceus.
I think I would be more nervous if the patch wasn't out for Scarlet. Like the fact that like we've now played it and it's like yeah, this like literally fixes the game if not is just a brand new amazing
It's
version
like
for it.
a new experience. And I played it when it first came out. I was in the trenches with all the bugs and
The
stuff.
day one trenches.
So
Watching you could count those frames on one hand.
there was this windmill, I think in the
Oh my
grass city
god.
or something,
Yeah.
that went 3 FPS or something. It was just so bad.
They
And
were
I
like,
went
"Damn,
back
bro,
after the
we're really
update
out here
and it
charging
runs
sixty
normal.
dollars for this."
Yeah, that windmill is just like encompasses the whole experience. Barely hanging on. That was hilarious.
Oh man, they should like. I hope like one day we can get to that like as an Easter egg. Like there'll just be one really janky ass looking windmill in a Pokemon game, and we'll all know that was a Scarlet and Violet like Easter
Yeah,
egg.
your face. That'll
Uh,
be
we've
funny.
we've got another one here. This one is a big left turn, but I'm here for it. Jeppo says Dying Light the Beast is the one game I am most excited for this year. Sadly, it got delayed till September. I think it got delayed. It was originally supposed to be like this summer. I will say I I'm a big fan of Techland, the developer of the Dying Light games. I am shocked at how much I constantly see people talk about Dying Light the Beast in a really positive manner. Did you ever play any of the either like Dead Island or Dying Light games?
No, I'm not big on kind of survival type games, especially shooters. I suck at shooting.
So
But
what's crazy about Dying Light the Beast? Here's the weird one. It was supposed to be a DLC expansion for 2, and it got silk songed. It was so big that they were like, we just need to make this its own game. So I don't think it's a full price title. I think it's like a discounted price, but it's its own standalone story, standalone everything. And what's funny is like all the games before normally had a lot more of a emphasis on survival and hand to hand like melee combat, and this one is kind of like way more focus on guns and way more focus on like action and like violence versus like hand to hand and like parkour stuff. And everyone's been like, yeah, it's really good. All the preview events, everyone have been like, it is surprisingly really good. It's really fun. It plays well. And I'm like, I I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited for it. Like zombie games are always one of those things where I'm like, I should be sick of this. But it just hasn't happened yet. It just like there are just some genres
it's
like
like a guilty pleasure
yeah, like my
kind of
brain,
game.
yeah, like my brain just kind of goes in, and I want to use this as like a segue to my game next, because like I don't know, I'm assuming this is also not up your alley very much, but one that I'm like, I went from I'm excited for this to yeah, I'm like really excited to this now. Is everything I keep seeing for Borderlands 4? I'm like, damn, I'm like really excited about the game, and like I've never not liked a Borderlands game. I've played all of them. I
I've
think they're all
never
fun.
played one.
And it's just like
I don't even think
it's
I'm gonna play one.
and it's just really funny though because like it's one of those games like everything I've seen about it, and especially that Game Informer cover story they did, it's just one of those things of like Borderlands 2, everyone kind of universally was like, this is the best Borderlands. Like, and the games that came after that were really, really good, but never scratched that same itch. And this is kind of like the
Mhm.
interesting thing of, okay, we're doing everything we know everyone wants, but we're also finally getting rid of all the shit that everyone gives us a hard time about. and like either fixing things or changing things or adding in removable options. And I'm like, do I think Borderlands 4 will be my game of the year? No. But I would be
It'll
lying if
be a
I didn't.
guilty pleasure.
Well, at the same, it's like I'd be lying if I said like I haven't played like every single Borderlands game I've ever played. I have platinumed, and I don't do that just because I'm bored. Like it's just one of those games of like, it's like that perfect game of like the story is at least entertaining enough that I will play through and do whatever, but it is such a good like turn your brain off, play with a friend, do split
Yeah.
screen, or like put a podcast on. Like it's a good one of those games.
Yeah, I get what you mean. But I'm not really into Borderlands. But not because it sucks, just not my type of game.
Can I interest you in a Switch 2 version?
Okay, maybe. I mean, like Cyberpunk wasn't my game, but I got it for the Switch too.
Damn, you were a
I
you were
enjoyed it.
you were a physical you're a true physical aficionado. I appreciate that. There are many games that I think
Yeah.
about that because like I used to be very much aware of like you know what, I may not be able to get to this right now, but god damn it, I need to buy this. I need to support this. I need to send a message with my dollars. And I try to do
Mhm.
that the most I can, but there are always those games that kind of like slip through, and Cyberpunk was one where I'm like, man, CD Projekt Red, I'm glad you're here at launch because without you, the Switch launch physically would look a lot more sad.
Yeah, it's really sad being a physical gamer for the Switch too. But I'm not even that big of one. I just try to just get the games physically. If not, I'll get it digitally.
I was
But
gonna I was gonna ask you. I forget if you either picked this up or if you played it all. Did you pick up Rune Factory on Switch 2?
yes, I did.
Okay.
Guardians of Azuma.
Do you like it?
I was actually given a code, and I did pick it up myself.
Okay.
I
How
actually really loved it.
did you see it was in the top 10 for the launch month?
Hmm. Like, it's
I
a good game, but I could chalk it up to they actually put the game on the cart, and that helped. So,
that that
but the
definitely
game
does help.
itself is really good.
Marvelous is a good
Hmm.
publisher with that. Like Marvelous always does a really good job. The funny thing though with that, I've been a long time fan of Rune Factory for a long time. Those are just really solid games. Like they're always really fun. They're never like I can't think of like one that's just bad. Like I can't think of a bad Rune Factory game.
Yeah, I love the Room Factory series, mostly because I don't like farming sims that are just strictly farming sims. So having RPG elements helps me like enjoy the games more.
All right. We've done the bro shooter talk time. It's time for you to come back, win the audience back in our favor. What's another game, Mandy?
Um, there's Atelier Reslariana or
A
Atelier
Resler?
Res. I'm excited for that. I'm an Atelier girly. So it's basically the Atelier mobile game, Reslariana, and they're just condensing it without the gotcha mechanics for the Switch. Great.
I
Because I
I have
wasn't gonna play the mobile game. I don't do mobile games.
I have a question for this because I know there's multiple Atelier games. This is not the
Hmm.
Atelier game we got in English like a year or two ago, right? This is a different game.
Atelier Yumiya is
No, no,
the
no,
one you're
no.
talking about?
No, like the mobile one. There was a mobile one that like some other company
Yeah,
actually licensed over here in English.
that one. With the same characters, it's just like used differently for the consoles, and it
Okay.
doesn't have like um the microtransactions.
Interesting. Yeah, because this is one that like I've been tangentially aware of as a big Koei Tecmo fan, but I'm not
Hmm.
lying. It's one that I feel like I should do a bigger deep dive on than I'm there. I'm kind of curious where the hype is for it, because like I feel like Gust games always sell pretty good. My only worry is I'm worried it's coming out too soon to the last Atelier game.
Yeah, that's definitely confusing, especially explaining it to people who are new to the series. But I would have wished they waited till next year.
Especially with
And
them
we're also
doing
getting
the trilogy in the same
the
year.
Ryza. Yeah. So it could be a bit much and a bit confusing. But uh Think of the new game like Resoriana as not a new game, just ported over from the mobile game.
And is that one only Switch, or is that what other systems is Resliana coming to?
It's for the PlayStation 5 as well.
Okay, gotcha. I got it pulled up here. Okay, this is why I was trying to think of it. This was the one that got shut down, which does make sense of why
Hmm.
they're making like a console version to like put it somewhere where it can like live on. But like it's so funny of like how many like mobile games just come out and die before even sometimes coming out in English. Like I'm glad that this is actually coming out and getting like a worldwide release because like this definitely kind of seems like one of those games I could very easily see being an only in Japan thing, you know?
Yeah, I'm really glad that they did it too. Especially with the success of Yumiya. There's a bunch of new fans.
Oh my God, I can't believe I hadn't asked you about this yet. How did you feel about the Tekken stuff finally getting added to the game? The Tekken collab.
Um, it was kind of underwhelming, honestly. So essentially you get an outfit and which looks cute, but since I already did everything in the game, I have no use for it. I wish it was there when I was playing the game.
It's
But
weird,
there's also
right?
like a
Because
little
like
quest. Mhm.
it, it's weird because they made that announcement video back when the game came out, and I thought
Yeah,
that
I
they
thought it
were
was
gonna
gonna
put
be
something out
more.
way sooner. I wonder why it took them this long to add it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. There was a little quest which had very cute animations. You had the Puni with the Hadachi getup going on. So, but it was just like one quest.
I forget if I've ever
It
asked you
was
about
kind of
this.
underwhelming for me.
Oh, I mean, yeah, and I mean, I think especially when you're feeling that way about like free DLC, that always really says a lot. I forget if I've ever asked you
Yeah,
about
but
the
it's
series.
free.
What are your thoughts on the Neptunia games these days?
I've heard of Neptunia, and I actually have one of them. It's called Game Something.
Oh,
I haven't really
the
played.
game maker one or whatever.
Yeah, I haven't really gotten into the series.
I would say
It seems right up my alley, though.
I was gonna say the tricky part with the with the Neptunia games when they hit, they're really fun. When they're bad, they're real bad. So I would say
Yeah.
they remade. Well, I guess I shouldn't say remade. They remade the original three on Vita back in the day, forever ago. But those are actually finally coming out, if not already out. I know the first one is, and the second one is for sure. But they ported those finally to Switch and actually gave them an English release, both physically and digitally. But I would at least say like the first one, definitely check it out because like that one I could see being definitely up your alley, especially if you like those Gust kind of like RPGs.
Ooh. Alrighty. Thank you.
No, of course. We've got another suggestion here. This one is by Eastern Glass, who says Metroid Prime 4. Excited to see what they've done to the series, especially after all these years. Also hoping Atlus will bring over some more Switch 2 games like Metaphor and Persona 3 Reload. I'm really excited about Metroid Prime 4. My thing
Hmm.
with it is like I love Metroid. I love the Prime games. It's just that it's been so long, and like every time we've seen the game, it looks great, but it's like I feel like we just need it to come out at this point. It's kind of like Bayonetta 3, like where we heard
Kind of like Silk
nothing.
Song.
Yeah, like where we heard nothing for so long, and then it finally just kind of came out, and then people were like, it's okay. So
Oh.
I hope it's great. I hope people love it. I hope to be playing the hell out of it. I think technically it's probably the most advanced game we're going to get on Switch this year. Like I feel like at least to my knowledge, I think it's the only game Nintendo is publishing this year that we know has 4K support and 120 FPS support.
Wow.
What about
I
you? Are
think it's
you
coming out for the Switch one too.
It is, which honestly, it does look good. Like the Switch One version does look solid, but I think that's like a Breath of the Wild situation where like they just had to put it out on the OG system. Are you much of a Metroid fan, or like do you have any interest in Prime 4?
I'm kind of neutral. Like they're enjoyable games. I remember playing Metroid. Uh, what was the other one? Starts with a D.
Oh, Dread.
Ah, I forgot the name. Yeah, Metroid Dread. I played that. I enjoyed it. I have Metroid Prime, the first one remake, but I haven't really played it as much. I have a big backlog, so.
Let me get this here. I think
But
what
I
we're
do
gonna
enjoy them. I like the lore, I like the stories. Just they don't really do much with Metroid games. So hopefully it gets, you know, Nintendo to do more with Metroid.
By the way, I'm going through the last couple of suggestions we have on Twitter. Big shoutouts to HB Potato Man. You did suggest you are excited for Ghost of Yote, which, hey, I love Sucker Punch. It's a good suggestion. You were definitely the only one who included a Atelier Ryza DX collection. So I'm like, I really hope there's someone out there who's like, all right, we have two brand new Atelier games. What are you most excited for this year? I'm excited to replay 1, 2, and 3 of Ryza again.
I am too. So shout outs to him. I'm
We
gonna
just
be in the same situation.
we just weren't ready to see how much those thighs could jiggle on the Switch 2 and PS5. We just didn't know.
A lot of
What
people say the thighs saved the games. Well, kind of
I
did,
would say the
but
thighs definitely saved that series for sure.
yeah. The series is hanging on Rise's thighs.
The crazy one, by the way, is I think a lot of people forget this, but Ryza 2 was a launch, like, well, almost. It came out a month after it came out, but Ryza 2 was a launch window PS5 game.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Because
I got it for the Switch.
The crazy thing with Ryza 2 is that the month before it came out, they canceled the physical pre-order for the disc of Ryza 2.
What?
I think it was because
That's crazy.
I think it was one of those things of it was still launch year of the pandemic. They weren't sure how many people were going to be buying the system at launch, and obviously something like Atelier Ryza 2 isn't really going to be people's like reason to buy the PS5. So it was kind of a slow seller. Like it's a really good port. Like I that's actually I played Ryza 2 before playing Ryza 1, and I was really impressed by like how good it looked on PS5. But it was really like it was kind of a bummer because that was one of those things where it's like yeah, like I think it would have helped that PS5 stand out so much more in that launch window because it was like yeah, Demon Souls is great, Spider-Man is great, but there wasn't like a new big RPG to play that was like a something you could buy in a store shelf, and I think that that hurt it in the long run, even though it was on PS4 and Switch.
Yeah, I played it on the Switch.
Uh,
Probably not the best port.
well, I will say because I don't think I think this will be the first time they're going to be on Switch 2. I'll be very curious to see how the Switch 2 versions compare to like PS5 because I feel like those should be pretty one for one.
Hmm.
Let's see here. I have two suggestions by Devil666. One I know very little about, but you did write a little blurb, so thank you. Uh, you gave a shout out to Silent Hill F, which I know Jigingus mentions a little bit later, and I am excited about that. The one I know less about, though, this one's called Pathologic 3. It's from a Russian developer. Ice Pick Lodge is certain to appeal to a strange and psychedelically bizarre town. Free
What
open
the fuck?
gameplay where you can go where you want and do what you want within the confines of the game, and an epic story. I think that description sounds cool. I think the Steam page looks interesting. I'm not gonna lie, it's one of those games. You put a 3 on the end of that, I'm like, oh, I'm not jumping into that. I'm not jumping into 3. But like,
I think that
I gotta do my homework on Pathologic 1 and 2.
Pathologic is. I think I watched a video from H Bomber guy about the games, but it's a niche kind of survival game.
You had me at Russian developer. I figured it was like, listen, you got that Euro jank on there. It's probably gonna be niche, but it's probably gonna be good.
It's
Um,
like I heard the first game really punishes the player, and that's part of the experience. So I never played it, nor am I going to. But it's a good game to watch somebody talk about it.
You're more learned about this than I am. Do you have you got any hope or
Mm.
interest in Silent Hill F, by the way? Are you much of a horror person?
No, not really big on horror. So,
Another one we
I
got.
mean, I don't want
Speaking
to say never, but I probably won't pick it up.
I mean, it's one of those things that I think for classic and newer Silent Hill fans, I think it looks good. I don't think Silent Hill F is it's not gonna do what like Silent Hill 2 did. Like it's not gonna be that big thing where everyone's like, yeah. I mean, I hope it is. I have it pre-ordered. I'm really excited about it. But it's definitely one of those games where as long as it makes the Silent Hill fans happy, I will be happy. I don't think Konami's expecting it to be like a bajillion seller for them. But Dennis on Twitter has another interesting suggestion. I keep forgetting this game is coming out so soon. Previously exclusive to Switch series, Daemon X Machina. I keep forgetting is having a sequel
Oh,
this year with it's a Titanic Scion,
yeah, and it's gonna be fully on the cart.
fully on the cart and unlike the original game, actually on all systems. So PC, Switch, to PS5 and Xbox, which I think will help it sell much better. And ironically, on top of that, I think especially now that we're in a post Armored Core 6 world, with how well that did, I think it's really, really good. Are you? Did you ever mess around with the original game? I know there was a couple demos for Daemon X Machina 1, but like, do mecha action games kind of do anything for you?
Um, I liked it in Xenoblade Chronicles X, so I might give it a try. I mean, I know it's like kind of different from Xenoblade Chronicles X, but the mech stuff isn't as intimidating to me as it used to be.
How far did you make it into Xenoblade X, by the way?
I beat it.
Oh, damn! You got me beat. Damn.
Yeah, it was so good.
Was that your first time, or did you play it on Wii U?
It was my first time. So I had it for the Wii U, but then I sold it for some reason. So when it got announced, I was like, yay, I get to experience it for the first time.
I need to get back to it, but also that's one of those ones of like I played it on Wii U, I beat it there. I'm excited to check out the new content. I loved what I played on Switch 2. The tricky part with that one, ironically, was that came out like the same day as Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I got way more into Assassin's Creed Shadows than I ever thought I would.
Oh, wow. I haven't played Assassin's Creed.
our last one we have from the community was from Jagingus, who's got a bit of a scatter shot. We mentioned a couple other ones, but I'm just going to read them all through. We've got Sword of the Sea, Hirogami, Silent Hill F, and Metal Gear Solid Delta are definitely ones I'm looking forward to the most, but also big shout out to Marvel Cosmic Invasion. That looks awesome, by the way. And speaking of Bloober Team in Eurojank, Chronos, The New Dawn, had a bunch of previews go up this week. That is the same developer of Silent Hill 2 Remake, but a different dev team. It's kind of like imagine a weird, timey-wimey version of Dead Space, but it takes place in like Eastern Europe.
Oh,
But
that's actually sounds pretty cool.
yeah, they had a whole bunch of stuff go up today for previews that I thought looked really really interesting. The crazy thing with Chronos, it is almost August, and they are still saying it comes out this year, but we have no release date. And it's like, I don't know how you have a game that looks like that that's not going to come out around Halloween, but also October is like a landmine for releases. So I'm kind of like, I don't blame you if you want to skip October, but also I think a lot of people want to pick that up and check that out. So
Yeah.
hard to say. But Mandy, do you have any other games you want to give a shout out to before we wind ourselves down?
Um, I think I went through my main ones. I don't really have any big
This is your chance to say Battlefield
games.
6.
I don't play Battlefield. I suck at shooters.
Um, I don't have a lot to say about this one, but I do want to give a shout out to a couple of tinier ones that are kind of related. Some ninja shout outs to all my ninjas out there. Shinobi, the new Shinobi coming out next month looks sick. It's by the Wonder Boy team. It looks absolutely fantastic. The other one is this one comes out Friday, I'm pretty sure. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound by the Blasphemous devs. That one looks awesome. And then to wind out the year of Ninja Gaiden 4, made by Platinum. I know Platinum's been rough, and especially it feels like most of the devs at Platinum all left to go work at Clover's. But I
Damn.
love Ninja Gaiden. I love how the game looks. I want it to be good. Also will not be upset if it is a little underwhelming because I wouldn't be that bummed. But I think Ninja Gaiden 4 is such a weird game of like, because I feel like a lot of people also don't talk about this. Like, people know about Ninja Gaiden, people know that it's being developed by Platinum instead of Team Ninja. The one that I feel like everyone keeps forgetting is that Ninja Gaiden 4 is straight up just published by Xbox on all systems. Like even the PlayStation and PC version are being published by Xbox.
Wow.
But I think that's about it. The only other ones I would give a shout out to are like tinier games. Like I'm excited for Terminator 2D and Mina the Hollower, but I feel like those are like two very different sides of the indie game coin right there. And but I mean, we listed at least about 700 to 800 hours of RPGs and other games alike there for it. But Mandy, thank you for
It's a lot of
coming and
content.
talking with me about video games, and also apologies for stealing Hyrule Warriors from you. I didn't even have the common courtesy to remember the name of it.
It's okay. Thank you for having me. I enjoyed talking about my excited games.
Yeah, and we mentioned before with the YouTube and stuff for it, but where can people find you ranting and raving about Nintendo Switch keycards and stuff like that? Where do you want people to find you online?
Well, you can find me on YouTube, MandyleePlays, and yeah, subscribe if you're new and you like the content.
But yeah, thank you for chatting with me. Thank you everyone for your suggestions. Thank you for the one guy out there who said the Thyza trilogy. That made me laugh. And thank you also for allowing me to just talk about a whole bunch of non-Atlas related things and Hatsune Miku for the day. In terms of housekeeping notes, big shout outs and thanks to everyone who's been helping us very, very, very slowly but surely. We're crawling currently to 7K. I felt like I was stuck at 6,000 subscribers for like 5 years, but we're like less than 50 away from 7K, which will be very liberating. But if you would like to help me crawl out of the 6K gulag into the 7K prison camps, check out the YouTube Spencer Presley or Shin Megami Tensei, all that stuff will pop up. One day, I'll have a new avatar on there. One day. But besides that, you can check out the show on patreon.com/SMTN. You can get the show early. You can get exclusive giveaways as well as be a executive producer tier or higher if you'd like to financially support the show. So big, 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 big thanks to all of the patrons at the $5 and up tier like Twist, John Massey, Jesus Coon, Crazy Sloth, Michael Wilson, Budweiser Tall Cans, Carlos Hernandez, Cross Renren, Winnie, Jagingis, Goro Cero, Solaire, Stephen Yip, and Patrick Dissart. Thank you all so much. If you'd like to help support the show and are able to just wanting to do it for free, you got the Discord, like I said, YouTube channel, iTunes, Spotify reviews, all that stuff, Facebook group, Twitter, Bluesky. We've got you covered for all of your places. That's the show. I gotta get out of here. I think I finished my second bottle of water about like an hour ago, so I'm ready for number three. But thank you all for listening. We'll see you next week. And Mandy, thank you once again for letting me ramble at
Thank
you for
you.
2 hours.
No, no, thank you.
All right, we'll see you next time, everybody. Have a good one. Goodbye.